Hello, this is my video explaining how to play the board game Candyland, which is one of my favorites as a kid. So the pictures on the slideshow are kind of different. There's a lot of different versions of the game because it is so old that they've redone the characters and map. So if the pictures are a little off, that is why. So a little overview of the game. Its little slogan is a sweet little game for sweet little folks. It is a 2 to 4 player game for ages 3 and up. And it says, quote, Candyland is a game of bright colors and pretty pictures made especially for little folks, many of whom are too young to read. It also includes features which make it an interesting game for older children, which is good because it's really a game for everyone. If you're older, you'll probably get a little tired of it after playing it 1 or 2 times, but when you're younger, it's just like magical. So the objective of the game is to travel through Candyland along the path of colored spaces. The moves are made from drawing cards telling you where to go on certain colored squares or pictures of special squares, which are like places, which I will explain a little bit more later. So before you even want to start playing, shuffle the deck of cards, and you want them to be face down on the board where every player can grab them. The youngest player gets to go first, which is like a fun little rule, I guess. Every player starts on the start square and draws a card to move forward, and you go to the first color that's on the square, no matter how far it is. It's just the closest one. And again, I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second. And all players just take their turns one at a time. So there are 10 steps or rules of how to play the game. Rule number 1 is each player represents a different colored piece, or is represented by a different colored piece. These ones right here are the ones that I personally remember. I feel like I've played with these ones, but I don't really know. Either way, it's kind of the same idea. It's just a little person. You pick what color you want, and that's your character. Rule number 2, before you even started the game, you're already going to be here, but all players start at the start square. I couldn't find a picture of the actual start square, so this is just like a little drawing. Rule number 3 is, or I guess it's just like, what? Like, no. Rule number 3 is that players travel in the direction of the mileage sign. So the map kind of snakes around a lot, so it can get a little confusing. So they actually put, little signs all across the path just to make sure you're going the right way and you're not like going backwards or anything. So here's where I will explain the card situation a little more. So when a player grabs a colored card, a player should move down the path to the next space that match the color on your card. So all of these singular ones, if you draw it and it's a yellow card and the closest yellow is like 5 spaces, you just move the 5 spaces and you're there. But if you draw one of these 2 ones, then instead of just stopping at the first color, you skip ahead and go to the next color. So green, and then you would go to the next green, for example. Rule number 5, these are about the like character cards or like places that you go. As you can see, these are all very different. This one looks very old. This one is the one that I remember playing with, and this one, I don't know, this looks very new. So I don't know. When a player grabs a picture card instead of a color card, like the gingerbread cookie, player moves to space that matches a picture on the card. This may move the player forward or backward on the map, which is very interesting because if you're already ahead of it, you have to go back to that place. Rule number 6 is about these mountain passes and rainbow trails that appear in various places on the map. Players can use mountain pass and rainbow trail only when they land on a space directly adjacent to the shortcut. And you just, if you were right here on the screen, if you landed on the green, you would just go over, land on this blue, and you wouldn't get to go or move until your next turn. Same thing for the mountain passes. So rule number 7 is about Cherry Pit Falls and Molasses Swamp. And so both of these are just places on the map. If you land on them, it says you have to stay there until you draw a certain card, which in both of these it's red, but they might be different. So every time it's your turn, you go, and if it's not a red, then your turn is skipped for however long that lasts. Rule number 8 is 2 or more players can be on the same space, land on the same space. It's fine. Just squeeze them in there. Rule number 9 is about, the end of the game is home. This cute little candy house. It ends on the last blue square, and regardless of the color of your card, you stop there because that is the end of the map. And rule number 10 is if you run out of color cards, reshuffle and continue playing. So how to win the game is the first player to reach home at the end of the map wins. Thanks for watching. Who wants to go play Candyland? Because I definitely do. And my sources are from this website that I found. It's this actual rule book from the game. So, yeah, thank you for watching.